Okay, so we're about to see the power of doggy crack, and that's tuna fish. There's really nothing better for a reward system for almost any dog other than sardines, and I can't stand them because they stink so bad. Tuna is absolutely amazing, and you can see how much he likes it. Even though he's a patrol dog and a bite dog, and he loves his toy, and toys are important, there's something about tuna crack that just drives these dogs nuts. So this is a great way to get him prepped and ready to go, and it's the beginning of what we call a modified fire trail. He sees the subject with the tuna fish and his toy take off. He's agitated by it, but we don't want to over agitate, so just have your trail there, walk away, and not run. Now, one of the things you need to do next time we do something like this is have your trail there get out of sight immediately. So one of the ways we can do this is put Ambroos off to the side around some bushes so he can't see the direction that the person is going. Super important. We don't want this to be visual. It has to be all scent. So now, after he's watched the person go, we're going to go ahead and put him up for a few minutes until the trail is completely set. Okay?
Okay, day 4, Ambroos has been a little less than 10 minutes.
So a few minutes go by, and you're getting your gear ready, getting your dog ready to go, and this is all fantastic. One of the things I want you to kind of keep in mind is that when you set these tracks up like this, these modified fire trails, this is the premise and the basis for all things tracking. It's chasing and hunting. The chasing is a big part of it, and it's kind of the trigger for our style of work. So this modified fire trail is super important. It's the basis for everything we can do, and you can always go back to it. Just because we do it here doesn't mean that you're not going to do it later. As a matter of fact, I like to do at least one every month for the dogs, even when they're tracking great. Or whenever they run into something that's a little bit difficult or confusing and they're having a hard time tracking, run a fire trail through it. It always makes them better. Now, one of the things I want you to do next time is, I know he's pulling hard, but do not run to the start and don't run on the track, okay? It's dangerous precedent. We don't want to start that right now. I know he's super excited and you're excited, but what will happen with the running is we're going to end up getting off the track. So he picked up the track really nicely right here. Super easy for him to do. You're on it. Going great. I couldn't tell if there's a scent article left behind. It doesn't really matter. He's on it and doing fantastic. Now this is a beautiful productive source. It's so tall and so green that you can't help but leave a great ground disturbance track for the dog as the trail layer goes through it. But the other thing is that it puts the nose or the scent right in the dog's face when they like to go heads up. And this is kind of a Mal and a Dutchy trait. They're not very good at being nose down all the time. It's because they want to use their eyeballs and their ears at the same time, much like wolves and coyotes. And you have to allow this to happen. So what we want to do is start by putting that scent right in their face, and that taller vegetated state will produce this effect. Okay, the shorter grass doesn't quite do it. He's still nailing it really, really well, even when he gets to the shorter productive source, and you'll see this on the grass later on. But for the most part right now, we need to build focus in that taller vegetated state before we get to the road crossings. But really good start so far. Okay, so really great track so far. He's been nailing it right on the money. Unfortunately, the map overlay is not accurate. I think you're right on top of your trail layer's track. He comes off a little bit right here, but that's just because of the surface change, and he has to reacquire the track. And so right now he's kind of circling, trying to find exactly where it is. And we need to give him this time to do it, and the best thing to do is don't surge or run. Just hold your ground like you did until he picks it up again. Now, you have to understand one of the reasons why he just surged and ran right there is because he detected this other person here in the distance. And you do a really good job of correcting him on that. And in training, that's what we have to do. When there's somebody that's not part of your training program and he sees them and wants to go to them, you have to verbally correct him and have him come off. So I honestly think if this person wasn't walking up the hill, you probably would have connected the dots on the other side of the track right here. And he picks it up. So easy to see right here. And we're back in business. So This is typical trailing behavior for a mal. Kind of your typical body posture. Head is usually just at shoulder level, and you can usually barely just see the tips of the ears. Tail is usually rather erect, and sometimes it might actually be wagging with a consistent direction of travel. Now, when he all of a sudden shoots to the right or to the left of this, oftentimes you're going to have to think that could be because of a turn or a little bit of an air scent. And I think in this situation, it was a little bit of an air scent. And you're going to see this change really take place right here. Now, you're going to notice that he kind of goes back and forth in this area close to this decline. He head pops to the left. He goes to a certain point and then turns around and comes back. He does this back and forth a little bit for just a little over a minute. Now, why is he doing this? What is creating this situation? Well, this is an air scent problem. He's on the track. He knows it, but fresh air scent trumps track. Fresh air scent trumps track because it tells the dog the subject is close. So they have a tendency to want to use the air scent over the track. This is especially true of mals, Dutches, and patrol dogs. They are so key on getting to the guy as quickly as possible, they prefer to do that over an air scent over the track because the air scent is usually faster. This is where he's going to commit to that downward depression right here. This isn't your track. This is all air scent based. And you're going to know that because once he gets into the depth of this depression, he's going to have to come back up out of it and onto that grassy path again. So the air scent was good for a little while until he runs out of odor at the bottom of the depression. Now, this was only a little jog off the track line, but it goes to show you how the air scent can really influence the direction of the dog on the track. Now, the other thing that this air scent could have also been is the apex of the turn. When a turn comes back in on itself, sometimes the dogs will detect the other leg of the turn from a distance and bisect it. So that's a possibility this happened too. So I'd venture to say it's either apex or air scent of your subject who's nearby. Okay, so starting right here, you're going to start getting another air scent. And this is definitely a proximity alert. He knows he's kind of getting close, and he's beginning to get close to the edge of your scent pool. There's not a lot of direction to it, so he's still having to follow track, but you did just get a quick alert. And it's going to get more intense as he goes down to the bottom of the hill towards your second surface change. As he gets to the base of the hill, the air scent goes away, so he can't work into it. And now the track has disappeared, so he has to circle around and come back and pick it up one more time. He gets your step-off point perfectly, and he connects the dot on the other side of the road here. Plus, you just got another quick little air scent right there. This is the beginning of what we call the near alert. You're getting super, super close. He's pulling a lot harder. He's got a lot more intensity. You can actually hear him huffing and puffing even more. This is usually the signal of when you want to get close to stopping. So when we start working on tactical stuff, right when you saw that beginning of that behavior, that's when you need to stop. Now, he's overshot the scent pool right here. This is why he's coming back. He's trying to isolate it, and the way the dogs isolate it is by picking up the scent cone if they can. And the way they isolate the scent cone is they have to navigate the perimeter of the scent pool, the edge of it, until they hit the prevailing wind and the scent cone like he just did right here. My guess is you just got a little shift of wind that helped him figure it out. So super good track, really good work. You can see if this was an armed suspect, it would have been game over for you and the dog. So we have to remember that alert. Great work. So unfortunately, the GPS failed at this portion of the track in the beginning. You can see where it looks like the dog really deviated, and he did not. You're right on top of the track at this point. It was a GPS failure. Here's the overall view of the map in totality, and it's close to a half a mile track, roughly 10 minutes old, and run in just a few minutes. It's super good work, fantastic.